Okay, this coffee is really, really good. It's so nice. But you know what? It would be so perfect if they put a little more sugar in this. But I don't want to say anything. But it would be so perfect then. Oh my God. Wow. That guy, oh my God. He is chiseled like a Greek god. He has awesome, awesome eyes you could just lose yourself in. And he is so, so perfect. Oh my God. Do you think you could get him to go out with me? Oh my God. I cannot get this video to work right. Look at my hair. My hair looks like hell, and I stutter, and I got my laundry in the background. It has to be perfect. I don't care if it's 2 a.m., and I was supposed to get it out yesterday. I need to get this done. I need to make it perfect. Okay. I think it's perfect. Is it like right in my lip line here? Oh, God. This doesn't look right. Angelina Jolie has her lipstick perfect. Why can't I be perfect like that? The table setting is not in the right spot. It needs to be moved over 1/4 of an inch up and then 1/4 of an inch over because it doesn't look right. It's not perfect enough. Come on. I mean, I have my mother-in-law coming over. She's going to notice every tiny little square inch that it's not on. They can do it in YouTube videos and it looks perfect. So why can't I do it like that? Ugh. Hive is everybody's Bitcoin. Hive is everybody. What? Oh. You don't like that? That wasn't the perfect note? No? Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel and welcome back to the Pixie Palace. You hear that? No noise. No garbage trucks. No airplanes. No cats running wild. Timmy's sleeping in the other room in case you're wondering. And as for me, I've been doing some Monday work and wanted to do this video for Mindful Monday. I was actually inspired by some of the work I was doing earlier. The strive for perfection is very prevalent in our society. We see it every day. We see it in advertising. We see it in the news. We see it in each other's social interactions. We see it on social media. We see it pretty much everywhere we can think of. And a lot of the times it penetrates aspects of our lives that we're not even aware of. While it can be a positive motivator in its own place, it can also be detrimental to our psyche. And even right now, as I struggle through going through this video, my flow has been off today. I've done a lot of funny parts, and I actually have some bloopers after this video. But the weird thing is my flow has been off today because I'm distracted by other things, a lot of tasks I have to do before the end of the month. And it's kind of ironic that I'm talking about the topic of perfection today. I keep stopping and starting, wanting to say things perfectly. And in the back of my mind, I think of other content creators who seem to flow so easily with their words. And here I am struggling with mine. I have a lot to say, a lot in my heart, but the words never seem to come out right. And as a content creator, you always have in the back of your mind, you want to captivate your audience and you want to deliver value to them. But at the same time, I have to remind myself I am human, just like all of you. I'm going to have days I'm not going to flow creatively. Other days, I'll be right in the zone the whole time. And sometimes it's okay to show your imperfections. It's okay to be human. And While there's no such perfect person or a perfect situation or even a perfect event, there is one thing that is perfect: our imperfections. And that's where the beauty lies within. I would rather have a relationship with somebody who is real and down to earth and shows his flaws and owns them. It shows he's authentic, and it shows that he takes ownership of his good attributes as well as negative ones. And that goes for all of us. When we start owning our flaws and owning our imperfections, we make them into perfections. When we look at our imperfections as strengths or assets, our whole perspective changes and our whole outer reality changes. Sure, we're all going to have insecurities at times. That's totally natural. Sometimes if I have a blemish, and yes, even in my 40s, I still get pimples. I thought that would be done, but not the case. I'll get that like on my cheek or on my nose or whatever, and I get very self-conscious. I think everybody's staring at this pimple. And most of the time, nobody really cares. They're actually worried about their own imperfections. They're worried about their own stuff. So anything that seems like a giant imperfection to you really might not show very much to everybody else. And it's really interesting when we start understanding that, start owning our imperfections, that's when everybody else will look at that even better. It's interesting too, because the people who do pay attention to the imperfections in someone else usually aren't happy with themselves, or at least that aspect of themselves. They'll start concentrating on other people's flaws and start maybe even talking about them behind their backs. And usually it's from a place that they're not happy with in themselves. I admit there's sometimes I'll see something in somebody else and I'll go, oh, I don't like that. But usually it's something from within. And once I own that, once I discover the root of why I'm feeling that way and heal that within myself, I don't notice as much in others. So it's really, really an interesting thing. The next time you see a flaw in someone else or imperfection and start judging on that, take a moment, take a breath, and see where that's rooted from. And 99% of the time, it's usually something from within. And it doesn't make anybody a bad person. Unfortunately, we're humans. We do judge as much as we try really hard not to. But as long as we take ownership of that and are mindful and try to heal that, then we can come out of it as a better person. Also, in business and content creation, a lot of people are afraid to take risks, calculated risks, I should say. They're afraid to put out that video, or they're afraid to put out that blog post in fear of people criticizing them, or in Hive, downvoting them, or even calling them out for some reason. Now, if somebody wants to create content but is afraid to, they're depriving the world of a gift they might be able to share, and people can get value of it. But when we focus on trying to make the thing so perfect, trying to make that perfect video with that perfect lighting, that perfect script, and that perfect idea, or the perfect presentation, then we miss out on the process. We miss out on being ourselves, expressing our authenticity, and just showing the world who we really are. Forgive the term, but sometimes we have to take off our mask. Sometimes we have to show the world who we really are and show our vulnerability. And yes, that is a risk. And there may be some people who will critique us, but does their opinion matter anyway? The only opinion that matters is our own. I started thinking about this topic from another blog post that I read today that doesn't necessarily talk about perfection, but he asked the question, would we go back to our past and change a decision that we made, or right or wrong, or change a regret to something we don't regret anymore? And while I reflected on that, most of us would say yes. We would change something. We would perfect something that we didn't perfect before and try to make those changes. But in that, he said, is the butterfly effect. It would affect everything in our lives after that. And we may come back to a different reality we're not familiar with, and it might not be the best reality. So my answer to that would be no. I wouldn't go back in the past and change anything. While I do have some decisions I'm sad I made that decision, or it's not exactly the decision I would make right now, I made the best decision then because I had the knowledge I had then to make that decision, the feelings I had at that time. And while it may not be perfect, it did create the life path I'm on right now. And personally speaking, I'm happy with my life and how it is right now. It could be to the point that one little thing I tried to perfect in the past would change the whole course of my life. Maybe there's certain people in my life I would have never met. Maybe I would never quit my offline job, which actually turned out to be a blessing. There's so many things that go into the definition of perfection. But the sooner we start understanding that we are perfect in our own truth and perfect in our imperfections, that's when the peace of mind comes in. That's where the freedom starts. There's no one in the world exactly like you. And you are perfect just by being you. Just by being, and you are enough. I can't stress that enough, and I say that a lot in my videos, but it's so true, and it's good to be reminded of that. So today that blog post really reminded me that nobody determines my worth. Nobody determines my life path and the value of the lessons I did learn in those decisions. So I think, in a way, I do feel like my life is perfect because I'm here where I'm supposed to be. I'm here in the present moment. I have deeper gratitude and deeper appreciation for the journey and for the process. And while I am how I am right now, I'll be a different version of myself later on. So it all comes back to how you were, how you are, and how you will be. When you're in the present moment and forget about being perfect and forget about the limitations that you put on yourself to be perfect, that's when the process is perfect. It's funny, it comes all in full circle like that. So that is my Mindful Monday today. I hope that gave you something to think about. And more importantly, I hope that reminded you that you are perfect in how you are. So, thank you so much for watching. Please feel free to click like and subscribe. It helps my channel grow. And of course, I love to have you along for the journey. So until the next time, to know thyself is to know thy truth. Namaste. Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel and welcome back to the Pixie Palace. We are in the okay, well that made it perfect. And I can tell we are going to have a lot of bloopers at the end of this video as I get tail lashed here. Oh, God help me. I couldn't do that. What? I've been Starbucked. That just sounds wrong on so many levels. Okay, we are going to try this again.